Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra-matasya Shishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Todakam Vartika Karamanyan Asmad Gurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purana Namalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Agatcharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Last class was not properly recorded, so we quickly go through those verses. That is verse number 149. We finished last class. We started with that, correct? 149. कोशैरन्नमयात् पञ्चभिः आत्मानसंवृतो भाति निजशक्ति समुत्पन्नैः शैवालपटलेरिवाम्बु वापिस्तम्. It is not in any meter. So in the last class we saw this. Since it was not recorded, I'll quickly go through that. Annamayadhyaihi koshaihi. By the sheets that are Annamaya Adi, meaning from Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya Adi, Koshaihi, Panchabihi, Atma, Sambrutaha, Nabhati. Sambrutaha Atma, meaning this Atman is apparently seemed to be covered, concealed, and it is only apparently, because not really. If it is really, then there is no possibility of moksha. It's like sunlight, not really covered by the cloud. Cloud is covering only the eyes. Cloud can go in nowhere near the sun. In the same way, in the ajnana drishtya samvritam iti drishyate, jnana drishtya na samvritam kadachit iti drishyate. In the state of ignorance, it appears to be covered. But in the state of knowledge, at no time it was covered, even when I don't know about it. Even when I don't know the nature of Atman, at that time also it was not covered. And it is interesting thing is, where and how this covering took place. Nija Shakti Samutpannaihi Koshaihi. Nija Shakti Samutpanna. Meaning what? Nija Shakti means one's own Shakti. Nija means Swa. It is not that Atman created all the koshas to cover itself. That is very unintelligent way of saying. It is like the example earlier also given, Koshavat. Koshakara means that of the cocoon. It creates out of its own saliva and creates a cave to itself, or a, what do you call that? A covering to itself, and dies. In the same way, we, out of our absence of correct knowledge, we have created these koshas. Now I'll come to that, what it means. And because of which Nija Shakti Samutpannaihi Koshaihi Sambrutaha Atma Nabadi. And the example that is given is Shaivala Patalairiva, like that of the pond of water creating a moss. Ambu Vapistam. Ambu Vapistam Ambuhu Avrutam Iva Drishyate Patalaihi. By the Shaivala Patalaihi Avrutam Iva Drishyate, like that of the water appears to have been covered by the moss created by the water itself. In the same way, Koshaihi Avrutam Iti and Nabhadi iti Drishyate Atma and Swayam Utpannaihi. Now, one would say, Swamiji, we didn't create the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Mahanamaya koshas. Right? It is due to Tadatmya that we are experiencing it. Tadatmya. Now you look at it. When I go to the state of sleep, is Annamaya kosha causing any trouble to me? Pranamaya, Manomaya, Jnanamaya. कुछ भी कुछ नहीं कर सकता है. क्यों? I have lost my identification with them. So what is this covering? Tadatmya eva. That's why in Panchadashi we saw Adhyasa eva Vikshepa. Adhyasa, thinking that this is me, is what is called as bondage. So you mean to say a Mahatma who is living with the correct knowledge, would he suffer the avaranam of the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Ityadi? He is not affected by their presence or absence. Nahi. But for us, it has become so important to identify ourselves with any one of them or all of them. And that is where our identity is. After that, without that, we don't know who we are. If somebody is, who are you? Atman. If you can give the answer that way and stick to that answer, you will be better off. What is your name? Nama Rupa Guna Dosha Varjitam. I am one who has no name, form, dosha, kosha, or guna, jati. Jati. Which jati you are? Jati niti. You must have ready answers for those things. From Vivekachoodamani or wherever it is. When were you born? Ajo bisan navyayatma bodhanam ishwaro bisan. Whose son you are? Ishwaro bisan. So, I didn't tell you this. I might have told also. So, when we were in our Kolvan, we were in our Acharya's conference was there few years back. So, few of us, 3-4 of us. So, we were just walking around. And then the younger brahmacharis and all, they were wondering what we are talking about. So Swami's meet, what do they talk? So we saw these fellows are following us to find out what we are doing. So we said, no, we'll talk in Sanskrit. But that's what I said. We are not so familiar with talking Sanskrit. Doesn't matter. You take one shloka, I will take another shloka. We keep on saying shlokas. They think that we are conversing. We seriously did that. So those people who were the younger brahmacharis, wow, these guys are too much. And then they left and went away. So, Nija Shakti Samutpannaihi Koshaihi. So, what happens when those koshas are gone or when we don't identify with them? That is what is called Nasha here. Chaivalapanaye samyak. Verse 150. Tachaivalapanaye samyak. Salilam pratiyate shuddham. Trishnaantapaharam sadyah. Saukya pradam param pumsah. Pumsah is written here in SCCMT. Yeah, pumsah, param pumsah, chachai param sadyah. Haram. Pumsam is correct actually. Tachaivalapanaye samyak salilam pratiyate shuddham. Trishna santapaharam sadyah saukya pradam param pumsam. Why pumsam? For pumsah, for purusha, purushaya, saukya pradam param. Sadyah saukya pradam pradam bhavati. What? Like what? So, like the moss is removed, when the water which is covered by moss, Chachaivala apanaye. Apanaye means on removal. Samyak, very well. Salilam, the water. Shuddham pratiyate, becomes clean. Then it becomes giver of great joy. Saukya pradam param pumsah saukya pradam bhavati. Sadhya, at once. How? Trishna santapaharam salilam. The water becomes that which can remove the trishna, the thirst. Santapaharam, the agony caused by the thirst will be at once removed when the moss on the water is removed and the water is obtained. In the same way, that is to say, this is an example, illustration, right? So that is to say, the same way the Atman, devoid of the identification with the non-self, Prakarshena santosham param sreshtam pradiyate ida purvena anvayah. So that Trishna, which is in the form of thirst, is removed. Dukkam harati iti haram tasya nashakam. Haram tasya nashakam. So, in that same way, the five koshas also can be overcome. Not by killing them, not by destroying them. So the Annamaya kosha is a major trouble for me. Let us destroy it. That's not the point. So that means then marna to muktu moksha ho gaya. If you say the body is the cause of the all bondage, let us kill that. That is most unintelligent way of doing it. Because that is not the cause of the problem. Okay, prana is the cause of problem. Let us stop the prana. That is not. Mind is a problem. Then mind, let us stop the mind. Better do that. Because that is the major trouble. But that is also not possible that easily. How will you stop the mind? So go behind the mind again. What is that? Buddhi. Buddhi is the support of the mind in the hierarchy of things, Indriyani paranyahuhu, indriyebhya param manaha, manasastu para buddhihi, buddher atma mahan paraha. So, which is paraha, the previous one, the higher one controls the lower one. Our body is controlled by prana, actually. Prana chala gaya to body will collapse immediately. Prana is that which supports the physical body. So prana is controlled by the mind, actually. Mind is controlled by the buddhi. Buddhi is controlled, not under control of, not, but buddhi is reflecting consciousness. So if we abide in the consciousness, then buddhi will lose its importance. And buddhi is not actively present in the form of scheming and planning, and then the mind does not have any more power to do anything else. Mind is not, then sense organs will be quiet, and the body also needs to be calm. This is a technique of meditation. But what we do, we stop the outermost, but not anything else. Sit down. What do? No, nothing. By that, it doesn't solve the problem because the mind is running all over the place. So therefore, in the next two verses, he says, just like on removal of the moss, how the pure water can remove the thirst of a person, in the same way, when the Panchakoshas are no more seen as one's own reality, then and then alone one will reach the state of inner illumination, as it is said here. Panchanam api koshanam apavade vibhatyayam shuddha nityanandaika rasas pratyak rupa paraswayam jyotihi Panchanam api koshanam apavade vibhatyayam shuddha nityanandaika rasa pratyak rupa paraswayam jyoti. Apavade. Apavada I explained in the class. Adhyaropa and apavada. Adhyasa is what happens when we do not know that it is adhyasa. Meaning, vikshepa eva adhyasa. Vidhyasa is nothing but vikshepa. When we do not know that it is rope, the idea or the notion of snake takes place whether we want it or not, without we knowing that we are doing that projection. It's not that deliberately we see snake, but we cannot but see the snake. This is called adhyasa. This adhyasa, therefore, is a natural, apparently, natural situation of a ajnani. Now, when you go to a temple, Shiva temple or Vishnu temple or any other, let's say Shiva temple, there is a Shivalinga. Now, if you see the Shivalinga, it is a stone in a particular shape. उसका शिवलिंग क्यों कहते हैं? उसका शिव का स्वरूप कैसा हो गया उसका? How do you consider that as a symbol of Shiva? Traditionally, if an American goes along with you who does not have any idea about Hinduism or Hindu deities, what does he see? Hey, nice stone there, is it not? I often say that when Krishna's form is there and beautiful Krishna with the flute standing there, so and next to that there's a cow also, Gokul Krishna. So if you go there to a temple which has this, you do namaskar. There is the friend of yours who is from, local American guy. Hey, nice guy. Who is this guy? So you say he's next to a guy. Next to a guy. Guy means cow. So he doesn't see that as God. For him, it is only somebody standing there, some nice sculpture. So you see it as a God. This is called Adhyaropa. Please understand the difference. Adi aropayati, aropayati. Adi aropanam, adhyaropanam. Meaning you deliberately put an idea of God in that stone for your upasana. So, Nikrishta vastuni utkrishta buddhihi adhyaropa. In an insignificant object, you give significance. That is adhyaropa. So too, why Vedanta talks about Panchakoshas? If the entire creation is an illusion, why do we talk about Panchakosha here? Because at the present moment, we have importance of the body, the mind, etc. So to make sure that you understand these cannot be without Atman, there is a deliberate explanation about the koshas only to do apavada. To show body is not, mind is not, prana is not, buddhi is not, anandamaya kosha is not. Compared to the nature of Atman, none of them can be considered as you. The Atman alone you are, and all other things that you think you are is not. Because as Gurudev would say, from the known to the unknown is the journey of knowledge. You cannot start from zero. Any language you learn from mother language only. Without knowing any language, how will you learn a language? You learned English through Tamil or through Hindi or through Kannada or through Telugu, through other. Right? Unless English is your mother tongue, that's a different thing. Then that becomes a mother tongue, and if you want to learn anything, from there you learn. So what we presently know ourselves, Atman, we know Atman. It's not that we do not know. See, the example of rope and snake is a different thing in this context. We don't know the rope. We see only the snake. Right? But here, we know Atman indirectly. And we say, body is Atman. What is that Atman for you? You know, see, the very fact that I seek immortality shows that there is internally, I know I can be deathless. Otherwise, you would not desire that. Can you desire something which you don't know? So I can be desireless. I mean, I can be deathless. And I think the body can be deathless, which is not true. So, Atman, I am is an unquestionable, doubtless awareness. But I mistake it to be only body. So, now Vedanta, what it does, let us say you are the body. Let us say you are the body. That's what it's going to start next verse onwards. Let us say you are the body. Now I have to tell you, body is not Atman. Because Atman Viveka has to start now. Panchakosha Viveka has to start. So, Panchakosha, first of all, is taken to be real and then negate it. That's why it's called Adhyaropa and Apavada. Otherwise, you can say, body hai hi nahi. Then there's such a question of Viveka, there's no need for all of these things, right? Brahmana Maharshi will take that standpoint. He would say, body is not even there. Why are you worried about Panchakosha Viveka then? What is now? Manasam thinking, Naiva Manasam. So why are you bothered about mind now? Thought nahi hai, mana nahi hai. So let us not worry about this. But in a traditional way of teaching, what you think you are, let us question the validity of that thinking. So taken the Annamaya Kosha to be real, I will tell you, Annamaya Kosha cannot be Atman. Pranamaya Kosha cannot be Atman. Manomaya cannot be Atman. Vijnanamaya cannot be Atman. Anandamaya cannot be Atman. So to start that, apavad. Panchanabi vikoshanam apavade ayam shuddha vivadi. Ayam shuddha atma vivadi. This pure self reveals. It shines forth. So, Panchana maybe Abhishabdaha, Kasyatnaha, and everything is included. Koranam, Avarakanam, Annamayadi, Anandamayantanam, Shruti Datta Yuktya Apavade. Method of doing it is according to how it is prescribed in the Shruti. Nishede Krude, when they are falsified, Sati, Nityananda Ekarasaha, the second line, Nitya Ananda Ekarsa. When it said Vipadi Shuddha, Shuddha Atma Vipadi, how, in what way you will come to experience the pure self? Nitya Ananda Ekarasaha Pratyagrupaha Swayam Jyotihi Paraha Vipadi. In the form of Ananda, which is continuous. Nityananda Ekarasaha. Utpatti Nasha Shunya. Dukkha Asambinna Ananda Ekarasaha. So it is untouched by as dukkha yeah, that's okay. Pratyagrupaha Sarvantaraha Swayam Jyotihi Para Prakashya Kevala Jnana Swarupaha. The nature of pure knowledge, Paraha Sarvodkrishtaha, Ayam Atma Shuddhaha, Swabhavika Anantukaha, Agantukaha, Mala Asamsprishtaha, Swabhavika Agantuka Mala Asamsprishtaha. It is untouched by even the future possible impurities. Vivadi. Because our Ananda presently is what, we get happy, but we are afraid we'll not be happy afterwards. Kuch hoga. So that's why when somebody is very happy, be careful, don't jump too much, And tomorrow you'll be very miserable. So to be careful. But it is agantukamala asamsprit. It is untouched by anything that is in the future also. Otherwise, what you would say, oh, in this Sukhanubhava, in the state of Samadhi, I'm experiencing the bliss. Then there is a doubt. Will it continue? It is like the kids, when they eat ice cream slowly. Why tomorrow I don't get it? So now slowly I will eat. So sometimes they will half eat and then keep it there. Next day I want to eat again. So, Swabhavika, Shuddha, Swabhavika, Agantukamala, Asamsprishta. And Vibhadi means what? Visheshena Bhadi, Anatma Asamsrishtataya Bhasate. It is untouched by the Anatman. So, therefore, Atmanatma Viveka Kartavyaha Bandhamuktaye Vidusha Tenaivanandi Bhavati Swam Vijñāya Satchidanandam Atmanatma Viveka Kartavyaha Bandhamuktaye Vidusha Tenaivanandi Bhavati Swam Vijñāya Satchidanandam. Therefore, Kartavyaha, to be done what? Vidusha, by the men of knowledge, by a man of knowledge. Vidushaha, Vidusha, by a pious person. Bandhamuktaye, to get out of the bondage. Atma Anatma Vivekaha Kartavyaha. Real and unreal has to be properly differentiated. Tena eva, by that alone, Tena Vivekena eva, Anandi Bhavati becomes really joyful. Swam Vijñāya, Swam, oneself, was what? Satchidanandam, iti Swam Vijñāya. knowing oneself to be the Satchidananda. So, see, so long as we think the happiness is going to come from outside, we will be miserable only. Because we do not know where it is going to come, when it is going to come, how long it will be there, who is going to give, when it will stop. There's no way one can be at peace when one is expressing or expecting it to be happening outside. Swam Satchidanandam Vijnaya. Oneself alone. So that is why it is said in the second verse itself in the Vivekachoodamani. But Jantunam Narajanma Durlabhamadapamsam Tato Viprada Tasmat Vaidika Dharmamarka Parada Vidvatvam Asmat Param Atmanatma Vivechanam before Swanubhava. That is what is Swanubhava? Brahmatmana Samstitihi Muktihi. So in the order of succession, if you see from the last one, Muktihi what? Muktihi is Brahmatmana Samstitihi. Brahma eva Atma iti Samstitihi Muktihi. Before that, it is Swanubhava. One's own personal direct experience. For that, Atma and Atma Vivek. Before that. So, Atma and Atma Viveka, the differentiation between real and unreal, following that alone is the Pratyaksha Anubhava. Follow that only Atma Brahma Aikyatum or Sthitihi, that itself is called Mukti. So, that is why it is said, Atma and Atma Vivechanam Sanubhava iti Uktam hi Dvidiya Shloke. In the second verse itself, it is mentioned in the Vivekachoodamani. And Kartavya means प्रयत्नात् संपादनीयम. प्रयत्न करने से ही उसका संपादन हो जाएगा. In this statement, 3 words are Sanskrit. Hindi में pure Hindi has got प्रयत्न करना. प्रयत्न is Hindi only. कोशिश, right? In Urdu, कोशिश. प्रयत्न करने से ही संपादन मिलेगा, संपादन होएगा. संपादन is प्राप्ति, संप्राप्ति. मिल जाएगा is again Urdu. So milna. In Hindi also it's a milna is there. I think Milan, maybe. But it is mostly influenced by the Eastern. So here kartavyah yatnat prayatnat sampadhaniyam. So what is to be done is very clear. Bandha muktaye, bandasya bandhat muktaye, adhyasa nivrittaye. As I said, example last time, the soap that you put on your body is not part of your body. That is called adhyaropa. Adhyasa is a dirt. Think about this example. Body has a dirt, that is called adhyas. So to adhyasa nivritti, what you do? Soap. That is adhyaropa. Then what you do? Leave it. Apavad. That is water. When you put water, adhyaropa also goes away, adhyas also goes away. But adhyaropa avashikam. You have to put the adhyaropa. The soap has to be put. Otherwise the dirt won't go. See, the dirt you didn't put, it was there. So adhyas. Adhyaropa you put it, soap. Then apavada, jnanam. Remove. Remove both. ऐसे ही आप ये शिव मंदिर में जाके आपको शिव को देख रहे, आप शिव जी को आप दर्शन, आपका शिव जी का दर्शन हो रहा है. कहाँ पे? वो शिवलिंग में. Right? So you are looking at Shivalinga and you think that is Bhagavan. Now, you have done Adhyaropa there. Now, but what is your intention? Upasana is for Ekagrata Chintanam. But this Ekagrata Chintan kiske liye? So that I can play video games very ऐसे इसके नहीं, एकाग्रत चिंतन meditation के लिए. So once upasana is done, then your mind can be put in one place, and slowly what you do, even though you are doing the upasana of the Lord Shiva and doing the aradhana or some worship or a flower offering, chanting, etc., but then the mind becomes ekagrata chintana means what? Sajadiya vritti pravaha vichadiya tiraskarane. When the mind having variety of thoughts having been removed, one single thought process is going on in your mind. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So then, when the mind has reached the one-pointedness, this lingam is no more necessary because you have turned inside. The mind has picked up that point of one-pointed attention. The pravaha has started. Ekavritti pravaha or sajadiya pravaha has taken place. Even as the external support of the Shivalinga you have taken for the sake of creating a single thought flow, now the having gained the single thought flow, the external aid is no more necessary. Now with the single thought, that Shivaha eva aham, Shivoham, Shivoham. Then Adhyasa and Apavada, both are gone. Adhyasa is what? I am so and so. Apavada is what? That is Shiva. I am a Bhakta. So now you have maintained your relationship with the Lord only to create the one-pointed attention. Once that is created, external form also can disappear. That is Apavada. So here, then only Brahmatmana samstitihi. Oneness between Brahman and Atman. So, tena eva anandi bhavati swam vijnaya satchitanandam. And here it has to be done very, very carefully. That is why it is said in the next verse, Munjadishi kamiva. Munjadishi, again, what is the tune here? Munjadishi kamiva dushvargat. Drishyavargat. Sorry. Munjadishi kamiva drishyavargat. Prapancham Atmanam Asangam Akri. I think we did chant properly. Huh? Munjadishi kamiva drishyavargat. No. Munjadishi kamiva drishyavargat. Prapanchamaatmanamasangamakkriyam Viviccha tatra pravilapya sarvam Tadatmana tishtati yassa muktaha Munjadishi kamiva drishyavargat Prapanchamaatmanamasangamakkriyam Viviccha tatra pravilapya sarvam Tadatmana tishtati yassa muktaha Atmana tishtati yaha samuktaha. Atmana sarvam tad atmana. Oh. Is it pratyancham atmanam samjha? Pratyak. Pratyancham. Prati ancham. What did I say? Pratyancham atmanam. Correct. Pratyancham atmanam. Correct. No, we were pronouncing something else. Pratyak atmanam. Yeah, we were like, there's some confusion. Pratyak somebody. Replay. Pratyancham. Pratyancham, I think they said. No, I may not. Okay. Pratyanchamatma. Yeah, I think that's what it said. Atmana, sarvam atmana tishtati yaha. Everything is the self. In that way, one who stays, samuktaha. How? Pravilapya sarvam. Everything has been dissolved. How you have dissolved everything? Not destroyed, dissolved. So, Akriyam asangam vivichya atmanam asangam akriyam iti vivichya. Unassociated and not a one which engages in any kind of action. Akriyam asangam vivichya tatra sarvam pravilapya, having dissolved everything, atmana tishtati. So, how it is to be done? Munjadi ishikamiva. Munjadi ishikam. Gurudev explained, I explained last time also, that we have to slowly separate it, like from munja grass, the pith of that must be very carefully removed. So, from the core of the munja, like enveloping sheet separated from the core of the munja grass. So, slowly that needs to be separated very carefully. The example is, how do you put the thread into the needle? Many times we put. Still the needle is separated. Separate. You think you have best eyesight, again you try that. Okay. Again separate. This is about separate. You have to engage them together. But here it is separation. That munja grass has to be separated from the pith of it. Munja the ishikamiva. From the grass, ishika is a stalk. So from the grass portion of that grass, you remove the stalk. Remove slowly. And when you remove that, how carefully you have to do it, because it is so very closely connected. In the same way, drishyavargat, from the seen, everything that is perceived, prapancham atmanam. Pratyancham atmanam. Sorry. Now, I said prapancham, that must be the reason. Pratyancham, pratiancham, pratyak, meaning innermost. The which is the innermost, pratyancham, pratiancham, that which is the innermost, atmanam, which is asangama kriyam vivichya. So here it is said, munjat munjam trina vishesha tasmat ishikamiva tat madhyavarti mrunala tanduniva sukshmamshaha ishika tamiva sa sukshma paritah trinavrita tasyaha pratakkarane atyantameva ekagriyam trotanadikam vina sampurna ishikagrahane yatnah visheshancha apeksheyate tadvat. It's how it is very important that we need to understand that it is with the great attention alone one can really remove the pith from the pulp from the external grass which is covering it. Evam sarveshu bhuteshu gudotma na prakashate drishyate tu agreya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadrshibhihi iti shrutya vihita karmabhihi upasanaya cha samskritaya buddhya drishyavargad anatma samuhat. From drishyavargad means all that is perceived belong to one category. And they occupy our mind so much that we need to slowly remove that. Tam asangam advitiyataya sarvasangarahitam akriyam aparichinnataya kriyarahitam atmanam vivichya pratakritya. Pratyang pravilobhyena anchati iti pratyang asajjada dukkha ahankaradi vilakshanattvena Sajchit Sukha Srupataya Prakashate. So, Pratyang means which is present within Pratyak Rupena. Prati Anjam, that is why this word is used. Prati Anjam. Pradilobhyena Anjati. turning around, pratilopana inverse. So that's what I was explaining, that people sometimes when they are so, inwardly thinking, they are called introvert. So introvert is nowadays is a negative word. No? It's very introvert. Arey, he's a Muni. He has to be introvert only. When he is meditating upon himself, he has to be introvert only. But that's not a negative one. So this way, one atmanathishtati sa eva muktaha pravilapya. So what is pravilapya means here? Atmana adhishtana bodha pratyakatmana yastitthati sarvada sarvatade sakala vidat bandhat iti. And pravilapya prakarshena vilapya apunasmaranam pratyakatma vyatirekena kimavi nasti iti निश्चित्य. उसके बिना कोई और कुछ और नहीं है, ऐसा सोचने से. Other than the self, there is nothing else worth even watching or seeing in that way. It is not worth, it is not necessary for my mind to get into that. That kind of a mind which is devoid of such distractions and abiding in the self, atmanathishtadi saha muktaha. Now, finally, we come to the point where we have to actually start today. Yesterday also it happened. When second session, they had only one question to start with. I said, you have only one question? Okay. So I went on explaining and went on and on one question only. I said, if you don't have any other question, I'll keep on explaining this only. We have been trained to talk like that. So better ask next question. Otherwise, the hour will go in that one question. Similarly, even though we finished that portion, again we went back on that. That's okay, revision. Now, first is in the verse number 154, why Annamaya Kosha is not Atman. Here onwards, another 4-5 verses on that. What is first one is Annamaya Kosha. Deho yamanna bhavano annamayastu koshaha. चान्येन जीवति विनश्यति तद्विहीनः. Yannena is written there in the Channena. So yeah, but in CCMT it is okay. त्वक्चर्ममां सरुधिरास्ति पुरीशराशिः नायं स्वयं भवितुमर्हति नित्यशुद्धः. देहोऽयमन्न भवनो अन्नमयस्तु कोशः ह्यन्नेन जीवति विनश्यति तद्विहीनः. त्वच्चर्ममांसरुधिरास्ति पुरीशराशिः नायं स्वयं भवितुमर्हति नित्यशुद्धः. These are beautiful verses for meditation. क्यों मैं देह नहीं हूं? आत्मा देह नहीं है. क्यों? क्योंकि अयम देह अन्न भवन. भवन मीन्स अबोर्ड और अन्नाद जातः. भवन मीन्स भवति, अन्नाद भवति. अन्नाद भवन्ति भूतानि, अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि. तस्मात् देहः अन्न भवनः, अन्नात् भूतः, अन्नात् जातः. अन्नमयः कोशः, and it is nothing but food. That's why these in a McDonald's and all, they advertise, you are what you eat, therefore eat our food. They advertise it saying that you eat our food, then you will become like us. So I remember one movie, I saw one fellow morning till evening for 3 times a day, only McDonald's he ate.
Yeah.
You saw that? What is that? Some
For 1 month.
yeah. What is that movie? It is called. It's very funny. Yeah, some famous one. He really proved what it is. Supersize me. Correct. Supersize. Really proved what happens if a person eats this. And then I think, I don't know whether McDonald's sued him or whatever, but he said, I made a point.
They can't because
Free country.
they've shown the data, so that you can't sue people.
Yeah, and he had all the data in place.
Yes.
Testing and the blood test, this, that, everything was done.
Nothing happened, right?
Not
still doing
that. But only to prove a point. What happens if you eat that? I think it created awareness about, vegan stuff and things like that. Slowly. That is, yeah. And not only it is born out of food and it is filled with food, annena jivati. With the food alone, it can sustain itself. Tad vihinaha vinashyati. If food is anna vihinaha vinashyati. Food is not there, it gets destroyed. And what is this? Tvak, external skin. Charma, internal skin. Mamsa, fat. Rudira, blood. Asti, bones. Purisha, fickle matter. Purisha, rashi. Heap of them. Gurudev would say, you are very beautifully packed filth. Filth very well packed and supplied to you. One layer out. Rama, you can't see that, the portion. One layer out. It's finished. So, ayam swayam na arhati. Swayam na ayam bhavitum arhati. And it cannot exist by itself. Therefore, nitya shuddha na bhavitum arhati. Nahi swayam bhavitum arhati. Na ayam swayam, meaning that should be taken. Na ayam swayam asti. By itself, it cannot exist. Therefore, nitya shuddha bhavitum na arhati. It cannot be by itself, it cannot exist. Therefore, it cannot remain as eternally pure as Atman. Because Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa Atma. Now, interesting thing is, as we have seen in Panchadashi also, Atmanaha Swarupam Shrutya Vijanami. Atmanaha Swarupam na Anubhavena Janami. I know about the nature of the self not by my own knowledge. I know only with the help of the Shruti. Shruti pramanam vina atmanaha swarupam janati. Kim? If anybody would know nature of the self without the help of the Shruti. So that is why Shastra Patanam or Shruti Vijnanam is very important. Without that, how do you even start the process? That's why it is said, no, Shruti madas tarka anusandiyatam. Follow the method which is put in the Shruti and use that for this Viveka. Otherwise, where do you start? Because what we seem to aim at or reach at is the Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Atma. Keeping that as the presupposition that I am this, supposed to be. Based upon that assumption, that is what I am to be, then I'll see whether I am the Deha or not. If I am the Deha, there cannot be that. If I am that, then it cannot be this. That is the Viveka. One is known, another is unknown. But the unknown is the Shruti Pramana, must be necessary for that. If you say that I am doing ritual to go to Swarga, have you gone there? No. Anybody gone there? No. Then how do you know? है कौन बताया आपको? है शास्त्री ने बताया, पंडित ने बताया. Pandit gaya, he went and came back or what? No, he also have a man of Shraddha, right? If he himself, you go to the Shastri, so ye sab karma kar raha hu, will I go to heaven? I don't know. So then you will You will not be able to do anything. So he will be, whether he went or not, obviously not, he has gone. So he will have to say, yes, you can go. On what authority he says that? So nitya shuddha atma bhavitum na arhati. Because swayam na tishtati. It cannot stay in self. It is depending upon something else always, right? Because we saw annat jayate, annat tishtati, annameva, annat vina annam na vina annam nashyam what called vinashyati. So annam, food is necessary for its birth, for its sustenance, for its further. I mean, without food it cannot exist. So that means it cannot exist by itself. How can that be Atman? So annat bhavanam utpattihi yasya anna bhavanah. And then mata pitru bhukta anna vikarat hi asya utpattihi iti tata. Again, the physical body is a product of the food taken by my father and mother. So, mat pitru bhukta anna vikarat, modification of their food alone, asya utpattihi karanam. Ayam deha paridrishyamanah stula deha annamaya tu kosha. Tu means kosha, that indeed is a cover. Tu shabdah itara vyavartakah, to differentiate it from other things. Panchanam koshanam madhye stula deha eva annamaya kosha na itaraha. Among the 5 koshas, annamaya kosha is this only, which is stula deha. Annatvai praja prajayante ato annena eva jivanti. In the Upanishad also it is given like that, only from food it is come. Na kevalam utpatya anna vikaratvam, not by for the sake of birth. Utpatya anantaramapi, even after it comes to exist, after by having born, annena jivati, only with the food it sustains. Drita pranaha bhavati, holding on to the breath. Tadvihinaha vinashyati mriyate utkranta pranaha bhavati ityartha. So when the food is not able to sustain the prana, when the prana departs, it collapses. Ataha anvaya vitirekabhyam, by the method of anvaya vitireka, assertion and negation. Anvaya assertion, vitireka negation. अन्व्यवतिरेखाभ्याम अन्न आदीन स्थितिकत्वम तस्य अन्न आदीन स्थितिहि, meaning depending upon the food. Therefore, if food is there, it is there. If food is not there, it is not there. So assertion is what? Food. Negation is without the food. So that annam is there, it is there. Annam is not there, it is not there. So anvaya vidireka. That method you understand that it is depending upon something else. Hi nischaya. Na kevalam paradina utpatti sthitikatvam anatmatve hetuhu. It's not because of this reason alone I can tell you that it is not Atman, but also ashuddhatvam. And it's impure also. Chaityaha twagiti. Now see twag, charma, mamsa, rudira, asti, purisha, rashi, spattam. All these are all ayam deha nitya shuddha ajo nitya shuddham apapa vidyam ityadi shuddhi bodhita nitya shuddha tvadi dharmakaha swayam atma bhavitum na arhati. It is not possible to claim this physical body made out of flesh, skin, blood, bones, fecal matter can ever be considered as pure, because every day we have to clean it up also. That is also there. When we go to Kailash, and when we walk, up to 3 4 days we don't take shower. So miserable it is. But those fellows who go with us, this what do you call the charpas, they take bath probably once in maybe some 4 5 years, maybe. Such a such a smell when they are around us. Because we also become like that after some time. But there's so much of filth in the body, dirt. How can this physical body is filled with dirt can be that Shuddha Atma? Deha na Atma. Anityatvat Ashuddhatvat. This is the logic. Hetu kya hai? Anityatvat, being not permanent because depending upon something else. Then Ashuddhatvat. Kena Koshadivat, like that of the Kosha. Keshadivat. Kosha. Keshadivat. Like Kesha, like a hair, etc. We'll see more in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhad Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.